we really got after it this week in practice. We did enjoy that win. It's a huge win. Really proud of our players and our coaches. It's a great venue to play in, incredible venue, matter of fact, which helps our football team. It helps our community, our school. So we don't take any of that for granted. But back to your original question, absolutely not. We enjoyed it 24 hours, then we went back to work. Had a really good week of preparation again this week, and anticipate our players building some momentum because we're going to need that to get a victory tonight. Well, I think you got to trust yourself, and you can't play the game stressed. And I said that I think after the game that last Friday night. You know, I watched these guys grow up, and you get to know them, and I think that's so important that you know your players, and obviously your players know you, and they know each other. And from my personal opinion, we were playing a little bit panicked, trying to play plays instead of playing technique, fundamentals, doing your job, trusting yourself that you can do your job. And obviously, on the flip side of that, I've done it for a long time, a ball control offense is a great defense. And so I think it's a combination of both things. And obviously, confidence weighs heavily in there. And so we've got to continue to build on that kind of mindset because it becomes a mindset. And the game is such an attitude. It's a game of a lot of many moving parts, and I'm excited about this team, and I'm confident this team hasn't spread its wings to the full capacity yet. That's the anticipation, and so this is a huge game for us tonight because we're going to play a team that is hot and that is getting confidence and is very athletic, very fast. So we've got to be ready to play. Well, they like to run the football. They've got a prolific receiver, and he's not the only one. They've got another one out there too. Both big rangy guys can make plays, very fast and athletic. They're building momentum offensively. They've been scoring, putting up a lot of points. I know last week got a lot of people's attention against a good Marcus team. And, it's like anything. When you get hot, you got to diffuse that. Defensively, they run the ball really well. They've been really good versus the run. So we've got to be hitting on all cylinders in all facets of our offensive game, and obviously continue to be good in our kicking game. So we've got our work cut out for it. Lewisville's no stranger to postseason. There are illusions out there, but the fact of the matter is Lewisville's been around for a long time and had a rich tradition, and they've got if you keep up with track times, they're always very competitive with speed events. So for the third time, we've definitely got our work cut out for us.
This is Carroll Dragons football. Protect the tradition. Now, it's time for kickoff on Carroll Dragons football.
It's a crisp fall night for Max Goldsmith Stadium in Lewisville as we're ready for kickoff tonight. The Dragons won the toss, deferred to the second half, and they will be kicking from north to south with the wind. Kickoff to get us rolling as Cole Ramage approaches, hits it from the 40-yard line, and puts a big foot into it. It goes out of the back of the Lewisville end zone. Carroll and Lewisville tonight. Chuck Kelly, Kelly Milligan, Travis Smith on the sidelines. Time to meet the officials for tonight's game.
Rod McLean, referee Denton.
Sean Raspberry, umpire Fort Worth. Dan Rowe, headlinesman Aubrey.
Brian Wiggins, back judge Fort Worth.
Don't worry, there are 5 officials. One refused to be introduced tonight, so Rod McLean was kind enough to go ahead and provide us 4 out of 5, but it will be Lewisville starting 1st and 10 from its own 20-yard line, going from right to left, that is south to north, against the wind. There's a little toss inside, running play, going from right to left, and around the edge goes Kyle Smith. It'll get across the 40 out to the 45, and he's going to be bumped out of bounds after a 21-yard pickup out to the 48-yard line. Jake Murphy on the tackle for the Dragons. Great start for Lewisville, Kelly.
Little fly sweep going left to right, and the guy that likes to run that is Kyle Smith. He's got great acceleration, second fastest guy on the offense. And Carroll may be looking for something to test the middle. Didn't quite defend that the way they normally would.
2 receivers wide to the left, 1 short side of the right. Dragons 4 across the front as the quarterback, Jarvis Brooks, with Kwame Michaels in the backfield, looks over to the sideline. They change the play call as they go out of the shotgun. The snap to the quarterback. And Brooks is going to throw deep over on the right side of the boundary, and the ball battled at the 30-yard line. And let's see, did they come up with a reception? Indeed, they did. That was Tyrell Shavers, the 6'7 senior, against Zion Sales, who is 8 inches shorter. They toss it up to Shavers, and a gain all the way down to the 30-yard line in Dragon territory.
Shavers just has to make sure he keeps his feet in bounds, which he does. Doesn't have much difficulty fighting the much shorter Sales for the ball. And there you go, 2 plays, and Lewisville has moved the ball pretty nicely, 45 yards.
24 on that catch. First down and 10 from the Dragon 30. Start a man in motion, and it's an inside give that goes to Michaels, and he'll go up the gut for 3 yards inside the 30 down to the 27-yard line. Time to give you tonight's Berkey's game time weather conditions. Berkey's, of course, brings you everything you need in air conditioning, plumbing, and electrical services. If you have an issue, call 1-877-BERKEY's 24/7. Get your problem fixed the first time. It is 64 degrees, cool. Feels like a fall evening here in Lewisville. A stiff breeze out of the north at about 20 miles an hour as that cold front blew in overnight. So Lewisville driving into the wind right now. 2nd and 7 from the Dragon 30. Snap to the quarterback, Brooks, and he goes right side, incomplete, intended for Shavers. Sales was over on the coverage, so that'll bring up a 3rd down for the Farmers. We're 48 seconds into it, no score.
Little timing route that was mistimed. Shavers apparently was supposed to stop at a point. That looked like it was supposed to be a stop route. Brooks throws the ball behind him. Shavers just watches it sail on by. Now Lewisville a little behind the chains here, looking at 3rd and 7.
From the Dragon 27-yard line, they play off the right side hash. Again, a long look to the sideline. They're down to 15 on the play clock, and they still haven't broken the huddle, gotten up to the line of scrimmage. Now down to 9 and 8 and 7. They come to the line. They'll get the play off, it looks like, as Brooks ready to call this 3rd down play. Down to 2 as he gets the snap, loads it up, going to go deep down the right side into the end zone. It's incomplete. He was intending it for Shavers, who on the season has 18 catches, 288 yards coming in, averaging 16 yards of reception and 5 touchdowns. Again, 6'7", working against Zion Sales, but that pass is incomplete.
Sales was out in front of him, ball overthrown. Would have been front shoulder for Sales. He was probably better positioned to pick it than Shavers was to catch it. But into this wind, he overthrows the receiver. That gives you some idea of the strength of this kid's arm.
Kevin Vasquez is the kicker, but this would be about a 45-yard attempt and into a 20-mile-an-hour breeze. They're going to elect to go for it as they go 2 receivers, wide side to the left, 1 short side to the right. Snap with the quarterback, Brooks, has protection, throws deep over the middle, passes caught inside the 15-yard line by Shavers, and it'll get down to the 11-yard line. It's a gain of 16 and a 1st down as Robert Brooks and Jacob Copeland combine on the tackle, but Shavers got open. 1st down, Farmers.
And they do something with Shavers there they don't normally do. They tend to send him vertical, just straight downfield. This time they catch him on a little pipe route. He's kind of crossing about 10, 15 yards deep. He has to go up to make the catch and then create a little something afterwards, but it is enough to move the chains.
Walker and Smith, the receivers to the right side, and they'll bring Smith in motion as he sets up to the left with Shavers, who's the wideout. Now they'll send him back in motion, talking about Smith from left to right, and after all that happens, I think Greg Miller said, timeout.
Jarvis Brooks on the quarterback keeper. Eric Spinner.
Well, back to play. They started a bit early, and the quarterback, Jarvis Brooks, kept it ahead for 5 yards down to around the 6-yard line. And Lewisville now with a 2nd down at 5 at that point as Brooks, the quarterback, has Michaels in the backfield, takes the shotgun snap, throws the fade into the end zone, has Shavers. It's caught. It's a touchdown. Tyrell Shavers from 6 yards out pulls in his 6th TD reception of the year as he was working over the near side against the freshman Mickens, who only gives up 9 inches. And just a minute and 58 seconds into the game, the Farmers with an early 6-0 lead.
And Shavers had gotten separation on a little end zone corner route. That was just virtually non-defensible at that point. It was just put it up and let him get it.
Wacky point after formation as they line up 3 gentlemen each side, left and right. Now they'll all sink back in and get ready for the PAT. The holder is Cruz Sustacia. Kevin Vasquez, who is 7 for 8 and point after, is a left-footed soccer-style kicker. Sustacia puts it down, and the kick is up. It is good. 10:02 to go opening quarter. Farmers strike first. Our new score is Lewisville 7 and Carroll 0. Dragon football continues after this. 7-0. Farmers on top. 10:02 to go first quarter. 8 plays, 75 yards, taking a minute 58. Shavers, the 6-yard touchdown reception. He had 3 catches on the drive for 46 yards, including that 4th down catch for 16 yards. As the kickoff taken by R.J. Mickens, and he has running room for the 10 across the 20, crosses the 25 and out near the 30 before he's brought down near the 32. The tackle was made by Emmanuel Adebayo, and that is a 22-yard return. Carroll 1st and 10 from its own 33-yard line. The quarterback is Mason Holmes, takes the snap, faked the handoff, and then he got hit back at the 29 and dropped for a loss of 4 on the play by Amadric Pelican. Yes, that is his surname, Mr. Pelican. The 205-pound senior came up from his inside linebacker spot and dropped down Mason Holmes.
They may just be birds, but they are carnivorous. Pelican ate up Mason Holmes on that play.
2nd down from the 29-yard line. Snap it to Holmes, puts it in the belly of Audric Gaines, and he will go at left tackle and get a yard to the 30 before he is met there by Chris Lee, the returning starter at the defensive end slot, and Matthew Kibbe, who was an all-district safety last year. He plays the drop-in, a weak outside linebacker position. It'll be 3rd down and long for the Dragons. They're at the 30-yard line. They need to get out to about the 43. So a little bit of an inauspicious debut for the Dragons tonight as Holmes sends 3 receivers left, 1 to the right, takes the shotgun snap, has protection, looks deep, got to go one-on-one coverage downfield, and it's incomplete down around the Dragon 40 as Clayton Keys was tied up with Fabian Moisey over there, and it's going to be an incomplete pass, and the Dragons go 3 and out, Kelly.
And on that 3rd down, a little miscommunication perhaps between quarterback and receiver. Keys breaks in, Blake breaks inside to the field side off a post route. Holmes unloads to the sideline.
On to punt for the Dragons is Cole Ramage. And back deep to return, Woody Banks and Tyrell Shavers standing at the 25-yard line as Ramage, who averages 41 yards a punt, gets a good carry with the wind, fielded at the 20-yard line by Banks, tries to elude a tackler, and he's brought right down at the 21. A 50-yard punt by Ramage, 1 on the return. And Lewisville will have it leading 7-0, 8:43 to go first quarter, as they'll start from right at their own 21-yard line. On 1st down and 10, Lewisville from the 21-yard line with a little zone read option, and it's Michaels who gets knocked down right at the 20-yard line, lost a yard. Eric Spindler, you heard on the pregame show, along with John Miskell on that tackle for the Dragons to bring up 2nd and 11.
Little counter action out of a Lewisville offense, but Carroll sniffed it out and did a good job with their run fits. Michaels hit behind the line and not able to even get back to the original line of scrimmage.
They'll line up a wing to the right side, 2 receivers short side to the left, 1 wide right. Now start a man in motion, and they'll ride and give. The handoff to Kyle Smith, but the Dragon defense followed him across and dropped him for a gain of 3 out to the 22.5-yard line as Matt Werner came up from his will linebacker spot. The junior makes the tackle to bring up 3rd down and long.
Same play they used to open the game, the little fly sweep with Smith. They're going to run that several times tonight. They like to get him touches in the running game. But now with 3rd and 8, you know what this Dragon defense is going to have to be looking for. You've got Shavers set out to the left side, probably going to be alone in a trips formation. They usually line him up separately from the others. And now they're moving him back across the field over to the right.
1 receiver left, 1 right. Lewisville 0 for 1 on 3rd down tries. They need 8 from the 22-yard line. This is Banks going to throw deep over the middle with a hand on it at the 42-yard line, and knocking it away was Jake Murphy. That one had a little bit too much mustard on it, or Murphy could have pulled it down. It was intended for Dwight Walker. We've got a Dust Famous Wings sideline update. Travis?
Different coverage from the Dragons. They rolled Robert Barnes over to Shaver's side and up. Had a pretty good chance to try to make that interception, but Murphy got his hands on it.
So now punt time for Lewisville, 4th down and 8 from their 23, as the Dragons will send the return man back to the 48. It's R.J. Mickens, and the punt coming from Vasquez will go into the wind. It's a short kick, hits on the Lewisville side of the 50, and will be down at the 48. It's a 25-yard punt, as Cruz Sustacia was the one that touched it down. The Dragons will have outstanding field position with 7:18 to go here in the first quarter. The play fake on 1st and 10, and a pass over the middle caught. Cade Bell on the slant inside the 35 down to the 30. A gain of 18 yards before Lucas Saran makes the tackle for the Farmers. 1st down and 10 Dragons.
Good quick hitting play. Ball fake to Gaines, and then a nice hit on the slant pattern. Bell does a great job getting inside shoulder position. Carroll getting their first down of the game.
Two receivers left, one to the right, wing also to the left. We'll give it to Gaines. He'll go at right guard, bang his head into the back of the line and get inside the 30 down to the 26-yard line. It's a gain of 4 on first down as the tackle was made by Matthew Kibbe. We talked about him earlier. The nose guard is Robert Wesley. To Kibbe on Brown and Chris Lee, the ends. Kibbe, Inyart, Pelican, and Moma are the linebackers. Pomani and Sestacia are the corners. Give you the rest of them in a moment. As a swing pass to Jackson Davis on 2nd and 6. Caught over the left sidelines. Gets inside the 20. Gets down to the 15-yard line. And he's got 11 yards and a first down for the Dragons before Saran on the tackle. He and Kevin Anderson's the safeties for this Lewisville team. But the Dragons moving the sticks.
That was easy pickings, too, for Mason Holmes. That play was not defended. Davis just all alone out there, nobody on him, an easy first down.
3 receivers left, 1 to the right. Bell starts in motion, and they're going to run a double reverse, and here comes Barnes coming from left to right, gets to the 15, to the 10 with speed to the 5, touchdown, Carroll Dragons. And Robert Barnes sets the ball down in the end zone, and a 15-yard burst for the star receiver / defensive back for the Dragons, who's heading to OU. And it's 7-6 Lewisville.
Good way to take advantage of an aggressive defense. You send Gaines running to the left, reverse field back to Barnes. The Farmer defense has already flowed to one side, and Barnes is speedy enough to outrun him to the other perimeter. So, again, nice execution on a little trickery, but the Dragons a kick away from tying this one.
Well, one of the Farmers, it's Kibbe that comes off. Looks like he's a little bit shaken up. Might just be a helmet issue, too, that they're looking at, too. I think he got a pretty big lick there, probably a crackback of sorts, as the point after attempt. And it is good from Cole Ramage.
Point after is good.
6:17 to opening quarter. We're tied at 7. Cool night in Lewisville. Temperature 64 at kickoff. Kickoff from Cole Ramage with that big wind at his back. It'll be fielded 6 yards deep in the end zone. Stacia thought about it and said, nah, discretion is a better part of valor, and I'm going to put this one to a knee. On first down and 10, a little handoff delay goes to Michaels, and he'll come at the left side across the 30, gets out to the 35-yard line. Going to be a gain of about 10 yards on the play. They do give him 10. They'll move the sticks as Miskell and Warner on the tackle for the Dragons out at the 35.
Nice first down run, just simple power behind the left side of that offensive line. He spins off of a hit to get it past the marker.
Center Ryan Miller has now gone in at nose guard on the defensive side, as they've got now 4 across the front, as they'll snap it to the quarterback, fakes the handoff, and now Brooks going to juke and cross the 35 and get out to the 40. Gain of 5 yards on the play, bring up 2nd down and 5. Clock running 5:40 to go first quarter. We're tied at 7. Barnes and Miskell on that last tackle.
Yeah, Brooks, a kid with 4.5 speed, big kid at 6'1", 220, as we mentioned earlier. He's a player on the basketball team, just an athlete learning to play quarterback, but that run dimension makes him especially dangerous.
From the 40-yard line, sidelines left, open field to the right, bring a man in motion. That is Smith from right to left. A little play fake, and the quarterback going to throw down the left side looking for Shavers. It's knocked away by R.J. Mickens as that ball was a little bit overthrown, looking for Shavers. There's that big height advantage over Mickens. And the pass falls incomplete at the Dragon 40. Did you see Robert Barnes, the star safety for the Dragons, going over the freshman and said, hey, good job. Give him a pat on the headgear. Yep.
And it was a nice play by Mickens. Dragons back in quarters coverage. He's coming downhill as the ball is delivered. And again, Shavers overthrown just a little. So Mickens in a position to kind of knock that away before Shavers is able to get one of his long arms outstretched for it.
Fighting Farmers 0 for 2 on third down tries. They need 5 here from the 40. It's the snap it to the quarterback. Brooks has time, throws left side, caught out across the 50 at the Dragon 49. Good for a first down. It was Tyrell Shavers in front of Mickens that time. 11, move the chains.
And again, Mickens trying to keep the action in front of him. Shavers takes advantage of that with a little stop at about 6 or 7 yards or so, and then hauls it in and goes out of bounds. So that's how you take advantage of smart coverage. 4 catches, 57 yards, and the touchdown for him tonight.
First down and 10 from the 49. Going from right to left into the wind here in the first quarter. Start Smith in motion from left to right. Snap it to the quarterback. Brooks hands it to Michaels. He'll try to pick his way at left guard. He'll get 3 yards inside the 49 down to the 45-yard line. Miskell and Warner on the tackle.
Yeah, and Spittler in there as well. So the Dragon linebacker surging to the point of attack and kind of neutralizing the advantage that big offensive line creates. Still, though, positive yardage for Lewisville on first down. If they can get 3 or 4 a pop running it, they're happy to do that. Very much a ball control offense.
Sidelines left, open field to the right side on 2nd down and 7 from the 46. Start Shavers in motion. They'll give it inside. Michaels again inside the 45. Gets down to the 42-yard line. A gain of 3 on the play as both Werner and Copeland combining on the tackle. Brings up a 3rd down here.
And already tonight, Michaels has taken some pretty solid hits from this Dragon defense, but this is a kid who relishes contact. He gets stronger as the game goes on. He's very physical. He'll take the hits you give him. He'll dish out quite a few himself, and again, just continue to move the ball forward 3-4 at a time.
Grant Phelps replaces Matt Werner in the linebacker spot as it's now 3rd down and about 4. Brooks takes the shotgun snap, starts to run out the middle, and a great open field tackle made down around the knees by Eric Spidler. It goes for a loss of 1. If Spidler didn't get him, Brooks was going to be good for the first down and then some.
Easily, and you're right, Chuck. Amazing open field tackle by Spidler. Brooks is not an easy guy to nail in space, but as he steps forward on kind of a quarterback draw, Spidler right there able to get him by the leg, and it looks like, at any rate, Lewisville will be kicking the ball back.
4th down and 5 at the Dragon 44 in a tie game, 7-7, 3.5 to go here in the first quarter as the snap to the punter, Kevin Vasquez, puts the foot into it from the 45, again into the wind. Dragons back away from it, hits at the 20, and a great roll for the Farmers inside the 10, all the way down to the 8, maybe even the 7.5-yard line before it is touchdown there by Cruz Sestacia. It's a 37-yard punt, and the Dragons will come out with most of the field in front of them as they'll begin this one 92 yards away. First down and 10, Dragons starting at the north end zone to our left from the 8-yard line. Snap to Holmes, faked it to Gaines, throws out of the left flat. It's caught by Cade Bell, and the junior with his 15th catch of the year gets across the line of scrimmage out to the 10-yard line before he's bumped out. Short gain of 2. Patrick Bethea, easy for me to say, 3-sport star, coming up from a safety spot to make that tackle.
Kibbe also ranging over there from the weak side outside linebacker position, former safety himself. He was an all-district safety last year, comes down and helps to collar the Carroll receiver. 2nd
down and 8 from the 10-yard line. Holmes in the backfield, again fakes to Gaines, this time throws in the right flat, caught by Barnes. Here he goes, making something happen to the 15 to the 20, breaks the tackle, still going 25 to the 30, and he's down to the 32. A 22-yard pass and run from Mason Holmes to Robert Barnes. Bethea on the tackle. That was going to be a 5-yard gain, Kelly, and all of a sudden Barnes said, I'm not done yet.
Barnes goes behind a block, makes a really nice cut, and he's off to the races, and he drags several Farmer defenders with him. Carroll attacking the perimeter on that Lewis defense. They're not necessarily wanting to run it up the middle, but if they can spread them out, maybe they'll open up the running game.
1st down and 10 from the 32. Holmes throws it left side, caught. Davis has blockers in front, gets to the 35, gets to the 40. Football's loose at the 37-yard line. Who's on top of it? Let's see. They're still checking it out as Bethea was the one who's trying to dig for it. Duff's Famous Wings sideline update. Travis with a look at it.
He got his knee down right when the ball popped out. That's the way the official called it. And a really hard tackle. It looked like it was a horse collar. Luckily, there wasn't a penalty called against Lewisville.
Well, we didn't get an immediate call from the officiating crew. That's why I was dilly-dallying, waiting to see the official ruling, and it is Carroll with the football. 2nd down and 3 at the 32. So after all that excitement, just 7 yards, and they blow it dead. It's now, speaking of blowing dead, the back judge wants to come and visit with our referee, Rod McClain, and straighten something out. So we're down to 0 on the play clock. Look there, they're going to reset it to the 40. Should be the 25. But anyway, they put it back in motion. The Dragons will have plenty of time to get this play going. 1:59 remaining here in the first quarter. Tied at 7. Lewisville jumped on top early, but then the Dragons evened it back up, and Carroll with the football from its own 39-yard line. The snap to Holmes in the belly of Gaines, bounces outside right, now gets across the 40, gets to the 45, and is twisted off his feet with an ankle tackle at the 47-yard line by Matthew Kibbe. And it will be a chain mover for the Dragons. 1st down and 10.
Nice run, too, by Gaines. Just running behind Miller and Kling, kind of in that A gap. Does a good job getting past the line of scrimmage and into the second level.
Schrum, short side to the right, two receivers, Keys and Bell to the left as they snap it to Holmes. He looks to the left. He throws. It's caught. Keys has it across the 50, down to the Lewisville 46-yard line. It's a gain of 7 before Moisey on the tackle for the Farmers, but the Dragons set up that two-receiver set and found the open man.
And again, you're happy to take that short stuff underneath. You're going to see a lot of quarters coverage out of Lewisville tonight, so there's going to be short and intermediate stuff open.
Here's the handoff to Gaines. He breaks one tackle, shifts up inside the 45, down to the 40, and still churning down to the 37-yard line. A gain of 9 for Audric Gaines. The senior really shaking and moving through the middle to finally get the yardage before Kibbe knocked him down.
You know, he shows us a little something extra every week, and that is some wiggle that we had not seen out of Audie Gaines even in the first 5 games. We've seen power, we've seen speed. That was some shake and some bake.
Under a minute to go here in the first quarter. Dragons 1st and 10 in Lewisville territory. Going to go for it all to Barnes down in the end zone, and the pass is knocked away as Holmes put some air underneath that one, but Cruz Sustacia, the little right cornerback at 5'9", 135 pounds, was battling the all-world Barnes, and that time Sustacia able to break it up.
Sustacia doesn't know that he's only 5'6", 135. The Lewisville staff doesn't tell him. Key to that play was a block by Audie Gaines in pass protection. He erases a blitzing outside linebacker. I think it was Kibbe coming in, and Audric Gaines gave him a little something to remember.
2nd down, 10 from the 37. 44 seconds. The clock stopped here in the first quarter. 7-7 Dragons of the Farmers here at Max Goldsmith Stadium in Lewisville. Here's the snap to Mason Holmes. Here comes pressure trying to set up the screen. Now he tucks it down, runs for his life, and throws it away over on the left sideline. Incomplete. Barnes was over near the boundary, but he was getting rid of it. Was Holmes, and it'll bring up a 3rd down here.
Yeah, Holmes was really running for his life. The entire Lewisville defensive front had gotten upfield push and were back there chasing him. He rolls out to his left, not really a designed RPO. The only open receiver is Barnes at about the 6-yard gain mark, and he had overthrown Barnes pretty considerably.
Is that one of those stock things, an RPO?
I'm going to lay out on you that.
Well, you certainly did. Yeah, 3rd down and 10 from the 37-yard line. The Dragons with 3 receivers, including Barnes to the right. And they go to the draw play to Gaines, and he's hit by the ankles and dropped for no gain on the play. Matt Inyart, the linebacker, stayed at home, and the senior with a good defensive play. The Dragons were looking like they were going to come pass to the right side. Instead, tried to slip the draw in there, and it didn't work.
They were hoping they could fool that Farmer defense. As you said, you set out trips to one side and try to get everybody keying on that, hope you go open up the middle, and no, it just didn't happen.
Well, I don't believe this. The Dragons are going to send Cole Ramage on to punt. Come on, you got a 20-mile-an-hour wind at your back. He's already hit a 55-yarder this year. This would be a 55-yard attempt if he were going for a field goal, and it doesn't matter. The quarter's going to end, so don't worry about it. After 1, it's the Dragons 7, the Farmers 7. As we start the second quarter, Cole Ramage kicking into the wind, as they certainly will punt into that breeze, and a fair catch taken at the 11-yard line by Tyrell Shavers, a 26-yard punt, and Lewisville will have it 89 yards away. 1st down and 10, Lewisville from the 11-yard line. Fake the jet sweep motion and handoff inside. Michael spins out of a tackle at the 12, comes left out at the 15. He's bumped out of bounds near the 20-yard line. Winds up getting 9 yards. Barnes won it, finally escorted him to the boundary.
That was nicely blocked by everybody on that Lewisville offensive front. They've got their H back there to make the initial hole, and then as Michaels is making his cut downfield, Kyle Smith comes downfield to seal him off and get him an extra 3 or 4.
2nd down from the 20-yard line. They need officially a yard and a half. They need to get just beyond the 21 as Brooks, the quarterback, with Michaels in the backfield. Again, start the jet sweep motion, but they'll hand it to Michaels. He's hit right at the line of scrimmage. Gets a little forward surge across the 20. Gets out to the 21-yard line. Maybe the 22. Could be close for the 1st down. We'll have to wait and see if they give it to him. As Spittler and Jacob Doddridge, the junior left in on the stop. We didn't introduce the Dragon defense for you. As I look down there, I see Jackson Cantor in at an in position. Doddridge in there. Zachary Simrak and Luke Jeter. They're going with that 4-man front. Let's see. Actually, not Jeter. It's Simrak, Doddridge, and Cantor. That's right. Didn't think I saw him. Spittler, Miskell, Werner, and Copeland at the linebacker spot. Sales and Mickens, the cornerbacks. Murphy and Barnes are the safeties. On 1st down and 10, almost a misconnection in the backfield, but Brooks, the quarterback, hangs onto the football, but about 4 Dragons are there to drop him back at the 20-yard line. It's a loss of 3 on the play. John Miskell and Eric Spittler on the tackle for the Dragons.
Fly sweep motion, and then Jefferson keeps it and tries to hit the perimeter off on the left side. Dragons sniff it out, get upfield push, and negative play on first down. Nice stop by the Dragons.
Well, they line up. Receiver Dwight Walker, 6'1", 185 to the near side. They've got Shavers and Smith, who starts in motion, coming from left to right. And the quarterback dropping to throw, and Brooks goes right to his hiney inside the 15, down to the 14-yard line. It's a loss of 7, and what a messed up play there, as Brooks just stumbled and all of a sudden went fall down, go boom.
That's the turf monster. There wasn't a dragon around him. He's backpedaling, trying to set to throw, and he just winds up getting his own feet tangled up. That's not something he's going to do very often. Carroll, however, will take it.
1 for 4 on third down tries of the Farmers, as they need 12 now, going with the wind here in the second quarter. Going from the north end zone at our left to the south. In the maroon uniform tops over the white pants, white numerals, maroon headgear with the LF inside an oval on the helmet. As they'll snap it to Brooks, and he'll set up a little screen, little smoke screen, ball popped free at the 10-yard line. The Dragons are on it. Did they say it was a catch and a fumble or an incomplete pass? We will wait and we will see. And the indication is they're still talking about it. That's what the indication is. Well, let's just wait and see, as there is no indication yet. And now the Dragons have it. Dragons have the fumble. They say the catch was made by Tyrell Shavers, and Jacob Doddridge comes up with a fumble recovery. Travis Smith. Good look at that.
Yeah, it clearly was a fumble, but the officiating crew, no one threw a beanbag, so you didn't know it was a fumble there, and they took forever to signal who was actually going to get the ball after they marked it. But, yeah, the Dragons did get the turnover big time.
What a break. Carroll coming into this game in the turnover category, +1. Remember, they were -5 earlier in the year. They've really turned into some takeaway monsters, and a very short field with 10 minutes exactly to go until halftime, as Carroll going to the north end zone into the wind with a first down and goal at the 10-yard line. Mason Holmes with a two-back set, and he will hand it off to Audie Gaines, who goes right, bounces outside with it, inside the 10, gets down to about the 8-yard line, a couple of yards before the nose guard, Robert Wesley, on the stop with help from Kevin Anderson.
Boy, good leg drive after the initial contact by Gaines. He kept churning forward, and as more and more Farmer defenders got to the point of attack, they were able to knock him back.
Clock running, 9:35 to go. Here first half of play, still tied at 7. Dragons trying to take their first lead of the game as the snap to Holmes. Fakes the handoff, throws into the end zone, wide open. Jack Johansson caught, touchdown. Right in the shadow of the goalpost. Johansson was all by his lonesome. It's an 8-yard touchdown pass, and the Dragons now lead it 13-7.
Blown assignment by somebody there. Johansson releases out of the backfield, and there is absolutely nobody on him. He was just all alone. It looked like Kevin Anderson was trying to recover position, but it was a little too late after Holmes had delivered the ball.
Point after attempt. As the PAT is up and good.
Good. Well, now.
Right now, the Dragons on top 14-7. 9:27 to go until halftime. Scoring drive after the turnover. 2 plays, 10 yards, 33 seconds. The 8-yard pass from Mason Holmes to Jack Johansson. Holmes now 7 of 10 for 75 yards and a touchdown in the game. 5 different Carroll receivers with 1 catch. Kickoff into the wind, going to be fielded down around the 22-yard line and brought back to the 26 in Lewisville territory, as Malcolm Willis was the one that made the return of 4 yards, and it will be Carroll defense coming out as Lewisville will start from just outside its 23. As on first down and 10, they'll start Smith in motion from right to left and hand him the football from the 26-yard line. He'll get out to the 30 before he's brought down. Gain of 4, John Miskell on the tackle for the Dragons.
Problem with the fly sweep running to the short side like that is that boundary acts as an extra defender. There's not as much room to make the cutback, so a couple Dragon defenders are all that are needed to stop that play for a relatively short gain.
Second down, 6. Whistle from its own 30-yard line. Brooks and Michaels Quarterback and running back side by side of the backfield. Snap it to Brooks. He fakes the handoff and he'll keep it. Nice spin at the 30 and he'll get out to the 35, and he's rocketed down there at that point after a gain of 6. Jackson Cantor and Robert Barnes in the tackle for Carroll.
Actually, I think that was Terrell Shavers carrying out of the Wildcat. That was number 1 back there taking the snap.
Okay.
And that is, you've seen, if you look, Shavers does have rushing statistics. They will sometimes line him up as a Wildcat. He's even thrown a couple passes this year, but we weren't looking, and I think we all missed that one. But he's back there again.
Well, he is going to be standing at the 30-yard line, so Shavers out of the Wildcat as the Dragons have the 4 men across the front. They snap to the big 6'7" guy. He fakes the handoff, puts it in the crook of his arm, and he gets eaten up from behind. And the tackle made by Jacob Copeland for no gain at the 36-yard line. How about that?
Well, I'm looking at those long legs when he makes his cut upfield. The legs are just flying. Copeland like trying to tackle a Mustang there, but he did manage to get his arms around one of Shavers' legs and bring him down for virtually no gain on first down.
Well, now we get whistles on the field as it looks like perhaps an equipment issue, as Matt Warner is going to have to exit stage right, go to the boundary, and Grant Phelps is going to come in. Again, it was something to do with his jersey, it looked like, up on his right shoulder pad. So brief stoppage there of the clock. Put it back in motion. 7:45 to go, first half. Carroll on top, 14-7. Next week we're on the road in Firemount as they take on the Marcus Marauders. We'll be on the air at 6:30 next Friday.
We're seeing a lot of Denton County this season.
Like it. Second down and 10 from the 36. Snap it. The quarterback, Brooks, hands it to Kyle Smith, who came around from that wing position, and he will get 6 yards as John Miskell makes the tackle for the Dragons out to the 42, and it'll bring up a third down situation. They're going to need about 4 yards here as the ball marked between the 41, just nose almost to the 42.
But both teams really trying to spread the opposing defense out. Carroll doing it with perimeter passes. Lewisville using it with that fly sweep action. They've run that several times with Smith to varying degrees of efficiency. 4 for 34 yards, but on that one, he had a nice cutback lane, but well defended by the Dragons. Linebackers there to stop him.
Lewisville 1 of 5 on third down tries at the 42-yard line. Quarterback hit as he throws deep downfield at the Dragon 25, and it's incomplete for Dwight Walker. Walker, the senior, tried to come back to the ball, but Zion Sales was there, batted it away at the last second. A long, incomplete pass, and Lewisville again will be forced to punt.
Yeah, if that ball's anywhere near him, Walker probably hauls it in and makes the catch. He's got the best hands of anybody on the team, just a real clutch possession receiver. Ball not really thrown on a line, and for what it's worth, pretty well covered by the Carroll secondary as well.
So 4th down and 4 at Lewisville from its 42-yard line. They send Vasquez on to punt. This will be the first time that he hits it with the wind at his back. Here's the snap. The left-footed punter kind of short pooches this one as it gets down to the Dragon 22-yard line as Mickens hauls it in 36 yards on the fair catch. And it will be first down for the Dragons. 6:39 to go in the first half. 14-7, Carroll on top. First down and 10 from the 22. They're going to give it a little delay to Gaines, and he will snake his way out across the 25, get out to the 30 to the 31. Be a gain of 9 yards on the play. Kenneth Moma on the tackle from the strong side linebacker position.
Just power to the left side. Carson Green getting a nice seal block there, making room for Audie Gaines. He then cuts it back to the middle of the field. 9 yards on first down you like. That gives you almost an extra down.
2nd and 1 from the 31. Holmes fakes the handoff, keeps it around the right end with room. 30, 35, 40, outside the boundary of the 50, down to the 40, down to the 30, to the Lewisville 20s, to the 15, to the 10, and he is knocked out of bounds inside the 10, around the 7-yard line, as it was Patrick Bethea who knocked him down. They're going to say he stepped out back at the 14, but a 55-yard run by quarterback Mason Holmes.
And a beauty it was. First off, nice ball fake to Gaines. That gets a lot of that Lewisville defense crashing in on him. He then boots it out to the right side. Does a great job running along the sideline.
First down and 10 for the 14. Handed off to Gaines. Coming left. Now turns back to the inside. Gets down to the 12-yard line. Gain of a couple before Matthew Kibbe, returning starter from his linebacker position, on that tackle. Well, the Dragons trying to take a 2-score lead here. Remember, they trailed less than 2 minutes into the game, 7-0. But they've recovered nicely, and right now, thanks to a turnover a moment ago, have taken the lead and trying to add to it right here. Going to our left, into the wind, to the north. into the field here at Max Goldsmith Stadium. 2nd down and 7 from just inside the 12. Snap to Holmes, has protection, throws for the end zone, has a man diving, catching, touchdown, Clayton Keys. Keys with his first TD catch of the year as the senior in front of Danielle Rosado got open, and a nice grab for Keys, and the Dragons punch it out to a 20-7 advantage.
Just a little out pattern. He makes the cut and then goes towards the sideline in the end zone, gets separation and leaves the Lewisville defender in the field. Turf behind him, makes a nice catch as he's falling to the turf. Pitch and catch, Dragon touchdown.
The PAT from Cole Ramage, right-footed soccer-style kicker. Power is up and good. We've got a timeout on the field. 5:20 to go until halftime. Our new score becomes Carroll 21 and Lewisville 7. Dragons up 21-7. Kickoff into the wind, pooched down to the 22-yard line. It is fielded there and returned out beyond the 30-yard line to the 31 by Kevin Anderson. And it's a 9-yard return, and with 5:14 to go here in the first half, the Farmers, now trailing by the largest margin in the game, 14, will take over the football. First down and 10 from the 31-yard line. The quarterback Brooks swings one out to Shavers over on the left sideline. It's caught beyond the 35 out to the 37. Pickup of about 6 on the play. R.J. Mickens and Eric Spittler on the tackle for the Dragons.
Lewisville going back to using Shavers like they did on that first drive. Just send him out on a little stop route. He makes the catch. It's the ball thrown up high. Nobody able to fight him for position.
Quick sideline update.
And this might surprise you guys, but since the first week of the season, Ty Shavers has only caught 3 balls in a game. That's the most he's had till this game right here.
How about that? 2nd down and 4 from the 37. Snapping to Brooks. Going to be a handoff to Michaels, and he immediately runs into a white wall of Dragons and knock him back for a loss of about 3 yards. Spittler was the one that led the way. This Dragon defense, Kelly's been played really well.
They're doing a really good job filling gaps, getting into the backfield, creating pressure. They're making it very hard for Kwame Michaels to find any running room. About the only way that Lewisville has had success running the ball has been off of that fly sweep.
Well, Lewisville has been dreadful tonight on 3rd down conversion tries. A 1 out of 6 as the play being whistled in for the near side. Right now they need 7 yards from the Farmer 34 as they play off the left side hash. 1 receiver, short side left, 2 wide to the right, including Shavers. The snap to Brooks. He has protection. Now here comes the pressure. They'll dump it out in the flat. Caught Michaels. Nope, dropped right off his mitts at the 33-yard line. He could have run for a while if he pulled it in. Copeland was coming up to bother him, but instead it is going to be an incomplete pass and a 4th down right there.
Yeah, Kwame Michaels as a receiver is somebody you've got to respect. Carroll does not leave him with any kind of coverage there. So if that pass is completed, he's probably got the first down. He's probably into Carroll territory, but he's juggling it as he tries to start running, and it falls to the turf. Carroll will get the ball back with 4 minutes to play here in the half.
Out-of-town scoreboard in just a moment. These are all end of first quarter scores as Vasquez puts the foot into it with the wind, kicks it across the 50. It hits. They let it roll inside the 30. Not a good decision there inside the 20, all the way down to the 16-yard line. Going to be a 50-yard punt, and the Dragons will have it with 4:09 to go until intermission. Right here, it is 21-7. Dragons on top. And Carroll the football from their own 16-yard line. They put 3 receivers wide to the left, snapping to Holmes. He pumps once, trying to break a receiver open. Can't find anybody, so he tucks it and runs. 1 man to beat, gets outside the 15 to the 20, and then is tackled and goes head over heels. Matt Inyart got him, but not before a gain of 9 yards, close to another first down.
A nice little somersault there towards the end of the run. As contact is made, Mason just sort of rolls forward, hangs on to the ball, and again, Carroll, nice first down play, 2nd and 1.
From the 25-yard line. Again, trips to the left side, snap it to the quarterback. Holmes hands it to Johansson, and he will get a first down across the 25 out to the 29-yard line, giving the pickup of 4 on the play as the stop made by Emmanuel Adebayo of this defense for the Farmers.
Yeah, the Farmers have got to be frustrated with the way this has worked out. Their plan is to control the ball and keep the opposing offense on the sideline, but they have not been able to stay on the field. They've had dreadful luck with 3rd down, and as a result, Carroll, we'll have to check the time of possession statistics, but they've had a good share of the ball tonight.
First down and 10 for the 29. Adebayo, by the way, goes by AD. I apologize. I didn't mean uncool there with the Emmanuel stuff. But anyhow, here is a 1st and 10 snap to Holmes. Big running room up the middle. Gaines gets to the 40, slithers out to the 45 and to the 50-yard line. He's got a first down and 22 yards to the Lewisville 49-yard line as Kenneth Moma on the tackle. But what an explosion there for Audrey Gaines.
Really well blocked on the right side. Kimball and Kling opening up that hole, and then Audie cutting it back toward the middle of the field once he hits the second level and kicks in the afterburners.
First down and 10 from the 49. Shotgun snap. Holmes going to air it out one-on-one. Looking for Barnes. Tips it in the air to himself, and he couldn't hold on to it at the 12-yard line as Barnes saw that it was going to come up a little bit short, so he reached over to the defender, tipped it in the air. That was perfect, but then he didn't catch it. He didn't bring it in, so it's all an incomplete pass.
That was almost his Lynn Swan moment. He just couldn't complete the deal, but a very athletic play. You'd never know this as a kid that hadn't played wide receiver before this year.
So the Dragons will keep it at the 49-yard line. Again, leading 21-7, under 3 minutes to go here in the first quarter as Barnes will line up wide to the right. 3 receivers to the left, Keys, Davis, and Gaines as they're going to dump it off. A little screen pass goes to Barnes, rim up the middle, gets to the 40, gets to the 30, marker down. And as he gets down to the 26-yard line, it's a gain of 20 as Kimmy got Barnes down low. Now let's see if the play stands as that flag came. As the blocks were being thrown, I wouldn't be surprised to see if this one might be coming back.
First penalty of the night on either team. Been a very clean game thus far.
Let's give it up for Rod McLean and his crew as they've kept their kept the laundry in the pocket all night long. But this is going to be backing the Dragons up. Now, Carroll has done very well over the past couple of weeks in the penalty department. Remember, they had that one game that was just horrifying. That was the Firemound game, 132 yards on 14 infractions against the Jaguars last week, down to 5 penalties, 54 yards, and tonight, nothing until now, 2:48 to go until halftime, and a 10-yard holding penalty will mark it back to the 47-yard line. So it will be a second down at about 8 as they line up Gaines and Robert Sledge in the backfield in a pistol formation, and the snap to Holmes. Play action pass throws over the middle and into double coverage. The catch, nope, incomplete. Came out right at the end, intended for Sledge, couldn't hold on to it. Inside the 30 is Bethea and Anderson were the ones on the coverage for the Lewisville Fighting Farmers. Clock stopped at 2:41.
Sledge running a nice seam route out of the backfield. That's a way that they have not yet used him this season. Ball delivered into a tight window and really thrown where it needed to be. Sledge just not able to hang on and make the catch.
Well, he got bashed too. Don't forget that. I mean, got made a sandwich right there. Third down and 8 at the 47-yard line, and play is stopped before they snap the football. We got a timeout called. Doesn't get any better than that.
Unless we have highlights, which we probably won't have time for. We never do at half anymore.
Here's a swing pass. Goes from the quarterback Holmes out to Barnes on third down and 8 from the 47. And he goes down the right side from the 45 down to the 40. And he's 1 yard short of what he needs for the first down at the 40. So the Dragons have decision time here. 4th and 1 going into the win late in the first half. And I think the decision is there is no decision. Let's go for it.
I do not see a punter anywhere on the field.
Nope.
No.
From the 40-yard line, they're going to go off the right side hash. They'll put it in the belly of the running back Gaines, and he will ride his blocking inside the 40 down to the 37.5-yard line. Give him a gain of 3 officially. As Anderson on the tackle with help from a Modric Pelican. But a first down for the Dragons. That offensive line doing its job.
Yeah, Carroll getting good surge and creating nice running room for Gaines, and they've also done a pretty good job in pass protection for Mason Holmes. He really has not been bothered or molested yet.
146 yards rushing for the Dragons. First down and 10 from the 38. 1:50 in the clock running here in the first quarter. Looking to pad the lead as Holmes has plenty of time. Now can't find a receiver. Tucks it down. Now he'll throw. Comes left side. Caught Keys at the 30. Spins away from a tackler. Down the boundary inside the 20 to the 10. And he's knocked out of bounds at the 8-yard line. Patrick Bethea came up from his free safety spot to make the tackle. It's a 30-yard gain if it stands. But there is a marker back at the line of scrimmage, so let's check that out.
And it's going to be a hold on Carroll.
Oh, boy. Well, that was what a play there by Holmes to keep his eyes downfield and find his receiver Keys. And then after he caught the football, Keys with some nifty moves to.
Yeah, he throws a shoulder, and Cruz Sestacia just goes flying right by him, and that's good for an extra 15 yards right there. But unfortunately, all for naught, as they say.
Well, they're going to mark it back to the 48-yard line. And the Dragons will have it there, first down and 20 instead of a first and goal at the 8. Keys, Bell, and Barnes, 3 receivers out to the right side. Single receiver Jackson Davis comes to the left, and he'll throw it out to Barnes, catches it in space, and gets inside the 45 down to the 40 and gets 13 yards back as he gets all the way down to the 35. Minute 20 clock running here in the first half as Anderson was on that last tackle. Dragons have it to the Lewisville 35-yard line.
So the Dragons shooting themselves in the foot a little on this drive with the penalties, but they continue to move the ball forward, continue to eat the clock, and keep Lewisville's defense on the field, and they may still find a way to get points out of this as we come up on a minute to go here in the half.
Barnes on the left side with Bell and Davis, one receiver short side to the right. As they snap to Holmes, here comes pressure, break down the pocket, floats to the right. Holmes throws to the sidelines, incomplete. It was Keys, the intended receiver, but he couldn't hold on to it as Moisey was over there. A move-in from New York who came in. We've called his name many times tonight as we've got a sideline update with Travis.
Well, Dragons still heading into the strong north, and during warm-ups, it looks like Cole ran about a 45-yard field goal would be his max, but need to get to the 28.
Third down and 7 from the 35-yard line. The Dragons 0 of 3 on third down tries. Here is the snap to Holmes. Has time, going to air it out. Goes for Barnes near the goal line. It is caught. It's a touchdown. Robert Barnes in one-on-one coverage from Cruz Sestacia says, give me that football. It goes for 35 yards. The Dragons lead it 27-7.
Just one-on-one. You've got a really nice matchup there with Barnes on the much smaller Sestacia. Barnes has got pretty good position. Sestacia kind of riding on his back shoulder. Holmes puts the ball where only Barnes can get it, and then it's just the slant right into the end zone.
Point after attempt, Cole Ramage. Kind of a low snap, but a good hole by Will Bowers to get it on the tee, and the kick up and good. We've got 45 seconds to go until the intermission. Our new score becomes Carroll 28 and Lewisville 7. The scoring drive, 12 plays, 84 yards, taking 3 minutes, 24 seconds. Had to work for that one. 35-yard TD pass from Mason Holmes to Robert Barnes. And Carroll now with a 3-touchdown lead. And all of that overcoming a big penalty that erased a 30-yard plus completion as the kickoff down to Saran, who will take it at the 20, bring it out near the 25. That's where Lewisville will have it. The last 5 Lewisville possessions have gone like this after that opening TD. Punt, punt, fumble, punt, punt. How about that Dragon defense, Kelly?
Yeah, they got over those little jitters or whatever it was on the opening possession, but they've made an adjustment on Tyrell Shavers, and we'll talk a little more about that as the night goes on. Part of it is just putting a bigger guy on him, but you've seen a lot of interesting coverage out of them to neutralize the big guy.
On 1st and 10, the handoff for short yardage will get 6 yards out to the 35, as that was DeMondrick Hunter who carried that football. Under a half minute to go here in the first half of play. Down to 5 seconds to go here in the first half of play, and they're not even going to snap the football again as Jarvis Brooks says no thanks, and that will be the end of the first half of play. So we've got 24 minutes in the books, and the Dragons, who fell behind less than 2 minutes into it, 7-0, reel off 4 touchdowns in a row. And at the end of quarter number 2 is Carroll 28 and Lewisville 7. The Lewisville Fighting Farmers as we're set to start the third quarter as the Farmers with the win. Kickoff down to the goal line. Jack Johansson back across the 5 to the 10 to the 15, middle of the field, 20, gets out to the 30, still churning 40, 45, and all the way out where he's brought down at that point. A 43-yard kickoff return as Kerrion Eccles was the one that made the tackle for the Lewisville Fighting Farmers. So the Dragons start with outstanding field position. For the Dragons, it'll be Holmes, the quarterback, Gaines, the running back, Keys, Bell, Davis, and Barnes and Johansson splitting the other receiver position. We'll see who comes out right now, as they're going to go with a two-back set, actually. They'll put Barnes in the backfield with Gaines either side of the quarterback, Mason Holmes. And now they send Barnes in motion out to the right. Snap to Holmes, gives it to Gaines. Big running room as it slants across the right tackle spot inside the 50-yard line into Lewisville territory. Gets 8 yards to the 47 before he's tackled by DeKevion Brown. The offensive line for the Dragons: Carson Green, Matt Lehan, Ryan Miller, Henry Kling, and Jackson Kimball. As Carroll scrimmages 2nd down and 2 off the right side hash from the 47, and they'll throw a little screen out in the right flat to Barnes, and he will snake his way inside the 45, and he's got the first down to the 43. So it's a pickup of 4. Matthew Kibbe on the tackle for the Fighting Farmers.
So Carroll on the opening possession show a kind of a pump fake. Holmes faking the perimeter swing pass to freeze the linebackers while Gaines runs it up the middle. Then they actually throw it to pick up the first down on 2nd and short.
1st and 10 from the 43. Holmes hands it. Gaines coming left side, breaks the tackle, has the corner, 30, 25, 20, down the boundary to the 10, to the 5, touchdown Dragons. 43 yards on the burst by Audrey Gaines. He's over 100 yards again, and the Dragons extend the lead to 34-7.
Very well blocked by Carroll. Nothing fancy about that. That's just power to the left side. Green and Lehan sealing off receivers, giving you blocking on the perimeter. When Gaines hits the 2nd level, he kicks in the afterburners, and ain't nobody going to catch him.
Point after attempt, up and good by Ramage. And just 45 seconds into the 3rd quarter, the Dragons open it up. Carroll 35 and Lewisville 7. Kickoff comes down to the 15, coming right out beyond the 30 to the 35, and a 28-yard return out to the 39-yard line goes the Lewisville return man, as it was Kwame Michaels one who carried it all the way out. And the tackle for the Dragons was made. Copeland was in there, had some help from Sean Broadway, also in on the special teams. So the Lewisville offense coming back out with quarterback Jarvis Brooks. Again, in the first half, he was 6 of 12 passing for 61 yards and a touchdown. All 6 of those receptions going to Ty Shavers. 61 yards for the big 6'7" receiver, who will line up lone receiver to the right side as they will hand it off to Kwame Michaels, and he will go at left tackle for a gain of about 2 yards, maybe 3 out to the 42, as the Dragons defense coming to stop him, including linebackers Matt Warner and John Miskell.
Semrak making the initial penetration, getting into the backfield, tying things up. The linebackers swarm to the rescue, and short gain for Lewisville on 1st down.
At the 42-yard line, they play close to the middle of the field, a little bit off to the left, as they will put one receiver to either side. They'll also put a wing to the right. Luke Jeter in the game, extra defensive lineman for the Dragons, as they'll hand it off to Michaels, and he will try to slither ahead for a couple of yards as he went right at left guard and get out to the 44-yard line, as Jacob Copeland on the stop for the Dragons had some help. And one of the linemen, it was Doddridge, was on the tackle.
A little note on the Carroll offense against this Lewisville defense. About a minute into the 3rd quarter, Carroll's got to be sitting at around the 330-yard mark total offense. That has already eclipsed the highest total allowed by Lewisville this year, that being 322 to Trinity a couple weeks ago. Carroll offense cooking with gas.
3:37 in the game for the Dragons so far. Quick pass over on the near side, caught by Walker. That's on the right sideline. Gets 5 yards out across the 45, gets out to the 47. So it was, beg your pardon, out to the 50 is where they mark him down. So that's where the 5 yards gives him the first down, as the tackle made by Sales for the Dragons.
This is a tough position for the Farmers to be in. This is not usually a quick strike offense. They've got weapons that can score in a hurry, but the emphasis being on ball control, they try to be a little more deliberate. You're down 4 scores and the clock is running, and then you got to stop Carroll.
Snap to the quarterback Brooks, hands it to Michaels, and a quick burst up the middle, gets across the Dragon 45 inside to the 41. That's a gain of 9 yards on the play, as Jacob Copeland and John Miskell combine on the tackle for Carroll.
This little counter straight up the middle behind Jones, and it looked like Howard throwing the other block there. But you give Michaels a sliver. He's got the quickness to pick up yards, and that gives Lewisville a nice 2nd and 1. They ought to be able to work with this easily.
63 degrees right now in Lewisville, and it went blowing out of the north. Really feeling a little fall-like tonight. As from the 41-yard line, handoff. Ooh, big trouble coming as Michaels gets swarmed way back behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 44. A loss of 3 as big Luke Jeter was in there along with Jacob Doddridge. Those bookends from the end position in to make the stop on Michaels.
Doddridge clogs it up ahead of the play. Jeter coming backside runs down Michaels, and all of a sudden you go from 2nd and 1 to 3rd and a long 3. It says 3 on now. They're going to call it 3rd and 4 on the scoreboard. That's about right.
Lewisville is 2 of 8 on 3rd down tries. This is a scrimmage from the Dragon 44 off the right side hash. 2 receivers wide to the left. Big fella Shavers comes to the right. Snap it, quarterback. Brooks going to go deep down the left side into double coverage down at the 20, and it's knocked away incomplete as Jake Murphy was the one that batted it away. The intended receiver was Shavers over there, so it'll bring up a 4th down and 4, and Lewisville will send on the punt team, 8:14 to go in quarter number 3.
You got Mickens running almost step for step with Shavers. Murphy providing the help defense. Center field ranges down, very nearly makes the pick, but either way, Carroll getting the ball back here.
The line of scrimmage, the Dragon 44-yard line. The punter standing back at his 42. That's Kevin Vasquez. R.J. Mickens at the Dragon 10-yard line awaiting the punt, which comes with the wind. Hangs in the air. He'll let it go. Hits at the 15. Kind of takes a sideways hop down to the 13. That's where it's touchdown, a 31-yard punt. And the Dragons will have it with 8:06 to go in the 3rd quarter, leading 35-7. As Holmes throws on 1st down and 10 and dumps it across the sideline as he had heavy pressure, incomplete, out around the 18 looking for Cade Bell, but it was Emmanuel Adesina who came in from behind and was breathing sulfur and fire down the back of Holmes.
Yeah, Adesina, one of their best pass rushers, physical and very tough, really good quickness. That's one of the few times Holmes has had to throw under pressure, and even then, very nearly completed it to Bell, who had come back seeing that his quarterback was in trouble.
Holmes in the backfield, now lining up in the shotgun formation. Switches Jack Johansson from his right to his left. He's got 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Snap it to Holmes, has protection, throws over the middle. It's caught at the 20-yard line, and Cade Bell knocked down after a gain of 7, just short of the 21. It's Scott Anderson on the tackle for Lewisville.
Kind of that little jailbreak. They send Bell on an inside route. He hopes to make the catch and make a guy miss. He doubles back a little bit, so he wound up losing a yard or so on that one. But either way, 3rd and 3 with this offense is easily convertible. Carroll 1 of 4 on 3rd down this evening thus far.
They need 3 yards as they start just outside the 20. Snap to Holmes, fakes the handoff, now throws a little screen, caught near side. Davis gets a block at the 20, gets out to the 23 is where they're going to mark him down. It's a gain of a couple. It's got to be more than that. They got what they needed for the 1st down, and that will be a chain movers. They'll move it out to the 23.5 and call it 1st down.
See, and again, with Lewisville playing so much quarters coverage, those underneath perimeter routes have been there for Carroll all night. And if you only need 3 on 3rd down, yeah, you can run it with gains, but you can also hit a play in space like they did there.
2-by-2 receivers, snap to Holmes, 4 in the pattern, throws over on the right side, pass is caught at the 33-yard line. Cade Bell immediately knocked down, they'll say at the 32, as he was the 2nd leading receiver on the team, coming in behind Jackson Davis, gets 8 yards on that catch, as Anderson on the tackle, but Bell with another reception.
Yeah, Anderson, the sophomore, is going to be a good one. He's one that they don't even have to coach much. He's got good instincts in coverage, does a nice job coming downhill to put an end to that play.
4 catches, 43 yards in the game for Bell. The slant over the middle is incomplete out at the 42, and it was almost caught kind of in reverse by Jackson Davis as Bethea came up, was trying to knock it away, but Davis had to reach back and almost had it.
Yeah, after the ball was batted away, I think initially by Bethea, it came down, and Davis very nearly made the catch. That was an athletic move. Either way, you got a 3rd and 1 here.
From the 32-yard line, Dragons trying to convert here. They're 2 for 5 on third down tries so far. They're already converted once on this possession as they'll hand it to Gaines. And he puts his head down and barrels his way, put his head right in the defender's chest and gets a couple of yards to the 35-yard line. Kevin Anderson and Kenneth Moma on the tackle for Lewisville. We've got a sideline update. Here's Travis.
Well, Audric Gaines has now scored a touchdown in 6 consecutive games to start the season. We haven't seen a Carroll Dragon do that since they moved up to the big school classification. He's got 3 straight 100-yard games and 4 total on the season. He has been a running back that the Dragons needed.
Indeed he has, and made a big difference in this offense. First down and 10 from the 35-yard line. Snap at Holmes, going to fire over the right side. A sliding catch made out at the 45-yard line by Jack Johansson. It's a gain of 10 yards. Kibbe on the tackle for Lewisville.
He hit the ground on his tail and slid forward. It looked like he was at something on Schlitterbahn as he made that catch. Did a good job hanging on.
Well, the Dragons played extremely well in this football game after beating Trinity last week. Don't want to look too far ahead, but we'll talk about what's coming in a moment as it is Holmes giving the football to Jack Johansson, and he will be hit after a gain of 1 to the 46 as Adesina on the tackle for Lewisville. Well, after this game, the Dragons have Marcus next week on the road. Then they've got Byron Nelson on the schedule. That one will be homecoming at Dragon Stadium, and then they finish out with LD Bell and Hebron. So, don't want to put the cart in front of the horse, but smelling a lot like a 9-1 regular season if things continue the way they are.
Yeah, but everybody in this district in any given week can hang with just about anybody else, so you definitely don't look ahead too far. You got to play like this every week.
Thanks, Hal. Second down and 10 from the 45-yard line. Here's the snap to Holmes. He's going to throw over the right side. This time a sit-down catch made right across the 50 down to the 49-yard line. 6 yards on the pass from Holmes to Cade Bell, who hauls it in. Matt Inyard on the tackle for the Farmers.
And again, Carroll just content with short passing plays and running the ball. They have eaten up a pretty good deal of clock on this possession. They got the ball with 8:06 to go in the third. We're coming up on about 4:20 here, and Carroll just deliberately moving it down the field. 8th play of the drive.
Davis to the right, Keys, Bell, and Barnes lined up wide side to the left. Third down and 4 from the 49. They change the play, 2 of 5 on third down tries as they snap it to Holmes. Looks deep on the right side, one-on-one, throws down inside the 20, and a leaping catch made down at the 17-yard line by Jackson Davis. 32 yards on the pass from Mason Holmes to Jackson Davis. Sustacia was on the coverage, but what a grab by the little guy Davis. He stretched out all 5'9" of his frame and hauled that one in.
Yeah, that ball was perfectly delivered. He did a nice job making the catch. And you talk about Carroll players who have developed as the year has gone on. Davis has really turned into an excellent receiver for this Carroll offense.
So first down and 10 for the Dragons at the Lewisville 17-yard line. 3 receivers left, 1 right. Snap to Holmes, handoff, Gaines inside the 15 to the 10, dives down to the 5-yard line. Just inside that point as Kibbe got him down low, but not before a gain of 12, and the Dragons with a first down and goal to go.
Nice play fake by Holmes. After the handoff, he sort of takes off to his left, drawing the attention of a couple of those Lewisville linebackers. That vacates the spot that Gaines hits in the middle. Carroll goal to go.
First down and goal at the 5. 2 receivers wide left, 2 short side right. Gaines in the backfield alongside Holmes. Looks to the sideline for the play call. Lewisville defense with 3 across the front. They wait for the snap to Holmes. He's got the football, puts it in the belly of Gaines, steps to his left, gets tackled at the 5, falls forward for maybe a half a yard, if that. As Amandrick Pelican was the first one there. Chris Lee also helping out. Pair of returning starters in this Farmer defense.
And Pelican putting a pretty good lick on him. Talking with Coach Greg Miller earlier in the week, the words he used were, the Lord made Amandrick Pelican to hit people. And we've seen him dish out some punishment down there tonight.
Keys, Bell, and Gaines line up out to the right side. 2 receivers to the left as they empty the backfield. Throw to the end zone. Passes caught. Touchdown. Robert Barnes was one of those 2 receivers that came left. They sent him on the slant. A 5-yard pass from Holmes to Barnes, and the Dragons now lead it 41-7.
A little slant in traffic. There were a number of maroon jerseys there. Holmes throws it into a tight window, but that's just a very quick hitting play, and Barnes with his 2nd touchdown reception of the night. His 3rd touchdown. He had one running earlier in the game.
Here's the PAT from Cole Ramage. It is up. It's good. hit the 2:38 mark of the third quarter. Our new score, Carroll 42 and Lewisville 7. 2:38 to go, third quarter. Dragons on top 42-7 as the kickoff from Cole Ramage kind of pooches this one just inside the 40, and it is caught on the fly at the 38-yard line and hauled in there by one of the Lewisville Fighting Farmers. That was Malcolm Willis, and that's where the Farmers will have it. It's on 1st and 10. A handoff goes to DeMondrick Hunter, and he'll be knocked down for no gain on the play as Jacob Doddridge on the tackle for the Dragons.
Okay, so Chuck, after that first drive where Lewisville goes down the score to the touchdown, 8 plays, 75 yards. Since then, 5 punts, 1 fumble, 74 total yards of offense.
Wow. And remember, this Dragon defense losing one of its big tacklers, Barrett Buck, out of the back end. He's not playing tonight. Was injured in last week's win against Trinity as the quarterback, Brooks, takes the handoff to the right side and keeps it, and he'll run around to the left end and get to the 40-yard line and get about 1.5 yards as Eric Spindler was the one to usher him out of bounds.
What Carroll is doing so well tonight is they aren't getting too far upfield. They're getting into the backfield enough to disrupt timing and rhythm, but they aren't taking themselves out of position or blowing containment. So Lewisville can't go where the play was designed, and there's nothing for them to do when they try to improvise. Jarvis Brooks, athletic guy, after that play was kind of sniffed out and blown up, all he could do was run for the sidelines. He didn't have time to create anything.
Eli Rodriguez checks in at the tight end position for Lewisville, replacing Noah Pottis as the Farmers have it from their own 41. 3rd down and 8, 1:56 to go in the third quarter. Snap into Brooks, has protection, is going to go deep downfield, one-on-one. The pass is caught at the Dragon 20-yard line. What a grab made by Kyle Smith, a regional finalist in the 200, and actually a guy who started on defense last year for Lewisville. He beat Sales, made the catch at the 20, first down, Farmers.
Well, you see the acceleration. He ran by Sales and arrived exactly where the ball was thrown and then kept his feet in. Just really nice execution on a sideline route by Kyle Smith.
First down and 10. Lewisville at the Dragon 20. Not a lot to cheer about for the Lewisville fans here on the near side, but that was something that got a little bit of a rise as their team now on the cusp of the red zone. So starter man in motion from right to left, set up 3 receivers that side. Snap to Brooks, throws for the end zone. Pass is going to be picked off right at the goal line. Jake Murphy jumped in front of Shavers and made the interception. So Murph comes up with his 2nd pick of the year. Lewisville on the lip of the cup, and the Dragons slam the door. As on first down, Jack Johansson takes the ball and gets about 1 yard, as it'll be 2nd down and 9, under 1.5 minutes to go here in quarter number 2.
Snap was a little high on that one. Holmes had to go up for it. It disrupts the timing. If he gets that ball to Johansson about a half a second sooner, Johansson's probably got 4 or 5, but that was enough time for Adesina to trigger and get upfield to blow up the play.
Johansson and Sledge in the backfield as they will hand it off across the 5, out to the 10 goes Johansson, and he gets out to about the 13-yard line. Gain of 9 yards on the play, going to be close for the first down as Bethea in on the tackle for Lewisville.
Well, it looked like he got it on second effort, and sure enough, they're moving the chains. He was hit and stopped at about the 10-yard line. He just kept the legs moving forward. You don't think of him as a big guy, but he is 5'11", 195, and he's got tremendous leg strength. He is a load to bring down when he's moving quickly, and Lewisville found out on that play. Dragons get out from the shadow of the goalpost.
First down and 10 from the 13, 2:20 on the ground for the Dragons. And I'll add more here as this is Sledge, who goes the right side across the 20, 25, 30, and he's going to be bumped out of bounds up around the 34, goes to the sideline in front of the Dragon bench, good for 24 yards, and another Dragon first down.
It's like the old 26 power play from the NFL, moving from left to right across the backfield and then popping off the seal block by Jackson Kimball. He shows a nice extra gear, and when he hits the sidelines, he breaks a tackle. So good run line by Robert Sledge, who's been kind of an unexpected weapon in this Carroll ground game.
Royce Weigel in the game at a wide receiver position for the Dragons. He lines up in a slot to the left side. Carroll goes into a two-back set. Down to 20 seconds to go in the third quarter. 1st and 10 at the Dragon 34. Here's a handoff. Comes to Johansson toward the left end. He'll cut it up inside the 35. Gets out to the 39-yard line. Gain of about 5 on the play. Chandler Williams on the tackle for the Farmers on what should be the final play of quarter number 3. And the clock will indeed run down to 0. 3 in the books at Lewisville. It's been all Carroll. It's the Dragons 42 and the Farmers 7. Final 12 on the board, perhaps, as we go to the fourth quarter. Dragons on top, 42-7.
I'm guessing so.
As quarterback in the ball game, handing off and a running play. Big room goes Sledge across the 50-yard line as Will Bowers, the sophomore quarterback, comes into the game, and he handed it to Sledge, and he went on a burst down to the 44 quickly. Number 14 sideline updaters, Travis.
Well, what a remarkable job that the Dragons have done running the football. The Lewisville defense has been stout. Just to tell you how stout they've been, last week against Marcus, their running back Justin Dinka had 18 carries for 22 yards. So like barely over a yard a carry.
Here's the snap to Will Bowers, and he will hand it off to Sledge, and Robert Sledge will get 8 yards inside the 40 down to the 36-yard line. Daniel Rosado on the tackle for Lewisville. Carroll's total offense now as they tack on some more yardage in the rushing category, up to 273 yards rushing, averaging over 9 yards per carry in the ball game. 484 yards, beg your pardon, total offense for the Dragons. 484 as they're on the march here. 2nd down and 2 from the 36. Snap it to Bowers. He will hand it off. Here goes Sledge. Has room inside the 30. Gets down to the 25-yard line. 1st down, Dragons, gain of 11 yards on the play. Patrick Bethea on the tackle.
When you look at the way Sledge has come on toward the middle part of this Carroll schedule, it reminds you of the way Shamar Coleman provided that complementary weapon in the offense last year. You didn't know what to expect out of him coming into the season. But tonight, Sledge, 4 carries for 57 yards. He's eaten up better than 14 yards a carry.
Looky here. It looks like Darryl Crockett is, beg your pardon, Tavian Gould is in the game for the Dragons. As we've got a two-back set, along with Bowers, who gets set to call 1st down and 10 from the 25. Snap it to Bowers, hands it off. Gould running around the left end, cuts it up inside the 20, knocked down there after a gain of 5 on the play. It's Emmanuel Adesina on the tackle for the Fighting Farmers. Well, Lewisville taking it in the chops tonight, but again, doing all the pregame prep and talking to the coach, Greg Miller, who, by the way, is just one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. This team is ready for prime time. I mean, they're just on the cusp of getting back to where they were.
And, you know, coming into the season, a lot of people had them picked as either the 4th team in this district, final playoff spot, or maybe 5th. You know, the Marcus win was maybe one people didn't expect, but they've got a lot of games coming up against teams they should beat. So I would fully expect Lewisville to play on into the postseason. They've got a lot of talent.
2nd down and 4 from the 19. Little confusion in the backfield as Will Bowers tripped with Robert Sledge. They got their feet tangled up, and that winds up being a loss of 5 from the 14 back to the 24. So what was 3rd and 4 becomes 4th down, and the Dragons obviously will go for it here. Not going to try a field goal.
Well, they will because it's 3rd down.
Oh, yeah. Well, that too. Yeah. Sorry. That would probably do it. I got one down ahead of myself. They should not kick a field goal on 3rd down. That would be rubbing it in. You don't do that. 2 for 6 on 3rd down tries. Beg your pardon. Here's the handoff. Coming right with room. Sledge inside the 20. Gets down near the 15. Where did his knee go down? They said it was at the 16. Going to be a yard short of the 1st down, so it's 8 yards on the play. Sam Escalona on the tackle for the Farmers.
Carroll keeping the offense out there. 4th down, just execute. Give these guys an opportunity to run the offense.
Will Bowers, a sophomore, has completed the only pass he has thrown on the year for 22 yards. He's in there just to engineer the final 8.5 off the clock. So go for it on 4th and 1. Put it in the belly of the running back. Charging straight ahead goes Sledge. He needed to get to the 25, and he got inside that point to the 24.5. It's a gain of 2. It's a Dragon 1st down. Robert Wesley on the tackle.
And more importantly, you just keep that clock running.
The 15. What did I say, the 25?
You did.
Okay, 10 yards off. I'm going to pull it together.
I always feel badly correcting you, Chuck, even after 13 years.
It's heat frustration here in the booth. It's cool outside. It's just been hot and sweaty in this booth all that long. First down and 10 for the 15. Bowers overthrows his receiver out in the left flat. He was looking for Weigel, and it'll be second down and 10 at that point. Second down 10 from the 15. 3 receivers to the left. For the Dragons, Will Bowers, the quarterback, takes the snap and puts it in the belly of the running back, and this will be Golder gets inside the line of scrimmage, the 15 down around the 14. So again, Tavian Gold in the game. Dragons have some changes in the offensive line. Chandler Higgins is in there for the Dragons. Looks like also Cade Long.
Weigel and Schrum now set out to the right side as receivers.
Yep, Justin Lee, Evan Ober in there, rest of the line, and Joshua Wynn. So an entirely second-team offensive line. They're still blowing out holes there, although it's now third down and 9 from the 14-yard line. 3 receivers to the right, snap it to Bowers, handoff, running play right, comes Sledge inside the 10, gets down to the 8-yard line. He gets 6 of the 9 that he needs, so that brings up a 4th and 3. Tackle made by Amadric Pelican, and the Dragons will keep the offense on the field. Again, it is 4th down, right? It
is this time. But they're not trying to run it up. They're just trying to eat clock and give the reserves a chance to execute. And Greg Miller and his staff understand that.
Running the play in from the near side, Taylor DeVage, who comes out to the right side, lines up in a twin set there, along with Hudson Schrum. They got a 2-back set on 4th down and 3 from the Lewisville 9-yard line. Snap it to Will Bowers. He fakes the handoff, and he's going to keep it unmolested around the left end into the end zone. Touchdown, Will Bowers, as the sophomore gets his first TD as a Dragon, hopefully the first of many before his career is done. And Carroll now leads it 48-7.
That's pretty nice execution by the sophomore there. He fakes the handoff to his running back and then boots it off to the left side. That Lewisville defense collapses in on the middle. They've had a steady diet of runs between the tackles, and they are not prepared for the speed of Bowers.
Cole Ramage for the point after attempt. The right-footed soccer-style kicker bangs it through. We've got timeout with 6:34 left to go in the ball game. Our new score becomes Carroll 49 and Lewisville 7. 13 plays, 97 yards, 7 minutes and 8 seconds. 9-yard touchdown run by Will Bowers. The Dragons now with 307 yards rushing as the kick.
Kick goes to the end zone.
Out the back of the end zone, and it will be a first down for the Lewisville Fighting Farmers. There's an update from Travis Smith on the sidelines.
This is the 5th time that the Dragons have played Lewisville, and believe it or not, the cumulative score is 198-44.
Yeeks.
This is a domination of a series that we have not seen from Carroll.
Well, just look at the whipsaw that Lewisville has seen over the last 3 weeks, Kelly. They got pummeled by Trinity 41-7, came back and smoked their arch rival Marcus 41-14, and now they're getting throttled by Carroll 49-7. As a handoff goes to DeMondrick Hunter, and he'll get from the 25 to the 27, gain him a couple of yards.
Well, and just to further illustrate the highs and lows and peaks and valleys, the week before that Trinity game, they absolutely blistered a struggling McKinney-Boyd team 51-14. So it has been all or nothing of late for the Lewisville Fighting Farmers.
Oh, and it looks like that Tyler Urban, a junior, has come into the ballgame at quarterback. They're not going to risk Jarvis Brooks anymore. So Brooks, who's the only healthy quarterback they had with varsity experience, Des Jefferson, was
a no-go tonight.
Yep,
Tweaked his
no
back
go.
a little bit. Urban, a junior. He's the quarterback for the JV. They brought him up tonight just in case. And now's a chance to get him some playing experience.
Well, second down and 8 at the 27. He took the snap and he reached out. And I think, it's the old somebody zigged when they should have zagged. He thought there was a running back going to come through there. He was holding the ball in space, and the Dragons said, I got you.
That looks like what you do in your room as you're a kid. You practice handing off to nobody.
Terrell Wiltshire came in and made the tackle right there. So that will be a third down and 8 coming. Dragons on top 49-7. 2 of 10 on third down conversions are the Farmers here. As that clock running down to 5:10. Here in quarter number 4. Scoreboard says 3. Can we play extra tonight? Here's the handoff, goes to Hunter, and he will try to wiggle his way out across the 25, get out to the 28-yard line, which will be quite a bit short of the first down as he gets a yard. Grant Phelps was in there for the Dragons also. Brock Gaskell in on the tackle. So 4th down and 7 will be punt time coming.
So again, looking at Lewisville's possession since that opening drive, punt, punt, fumble, punt, punt, end of half, punt, interception, punt. Well, presumably a punt. I don't think they're going to fake it down here.
So see a lot of fresh names in this Dragon defense. Looking at Wiltshire, of course, his brother DeAndre Wiltshire. Remember him recently?
Yeah.
4th and 7, 28-yard line, rather. 4 minutes, 16 seconds remaining as they get the punt away. As that is going to be Vasquez, puts it down into Dragon territory across the 50. He'll be killed at the 38-yard line. 34-yard punt, and the Dragons will have it with 4:10 remaining in the game, leading 49-7. As on 1st down and 10, Darryl Crockett in the game. Son of former NFLer Ray Crockett makes a catch. A little swing pass from Will Bowers over on the left side. He's going to get 7 yards before Tyler Cortez makes the tackle. It'll bring up a 2nd down, called a long 4. Dragons have 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right, letting that clock run down. Well, I don't know why, because the clock's not moving. Looking over at the play call, that's what it was.
Being careful.
Yep. That's what it is. Want to make sure they got the right play. Low snap to Bowers, puts it in the belly of the running back, and across the 45, there goes Tavian Gould, and he'll get out near the 50. In fact, he gets the midfield strike. It's a gain of 5 and a 1st down.
So again, Carroll, even with reserves in at virtually every position, moving the ball pretty briskly on this Lewisville defense. Carroll tonight has been pretty balanced as far as it goes. 29 pass plays, 37 runs, and a lot of those coming here in the late going of the second half.
Indeed. As the snap to Bowers, puts it in the belly of the running back, and here comes Gould, comes around the right, gets from the 50 to the 45, down to the Lewisville 43-yard line. Lucas Saran on the tackle. It's a gain of 7. 2nd down 4 from the 44. Here is the handoff again to Gould. He will get from the, right back to the line of scrimmage, they say at the 44. Tackle by Leonel Chavez. Down to 2:40, clock running. Dragons going to improve to 5-1 on the year. They've got Marcus next week. Then Byron and Bell and Hebron to wrap up the season, and we'll get to the playoffs. What are we, about 2 weeks away from clinch time? Starts in week 8, I think. I think that's when you can clinch your playoff spot. Dragon will be the top seed in Division II if they keep winning out. As a handoff, and the runner going right down at the line of scrimmage was Gould, and he only gets a yard.
So it'll be 4th down, but the clock continues to run, and no sign of a punter.
Well, the Dragons are 3 of 3 on 3rd down tries.
Or 4th down.
4th down, beg your pardon. 4th down tries.
You know, Lewisville has timeouts in their pocket. They're not calling them. I think this is 2 coaches with an understanding of what you've got here. Let's just get this over with and move on to next week.
Huge respect between the 2. 4th down and 4 from the 44. Will Bowers, the quarterback, takes the snap, hands it to Gould, comes around the right end, tries to break a tackle. He does, gets inside the 40, has the 1st down, running hard to the 38. How about Gould? Gain of 6 yards on the play. And tackle made by Sam Escalona, had some help from Chavez, and the clock down to 1:25 here in the 4th. The Dragons will hang on to it, run a couple more plays, and take this one to the house. 49-7 the score, and again, that's 49 unanswered points run off by the Dragons.
And Gould here in the late going, 24 yards on 7 carries, and he's looking good here in limited duty.
From the 38-yard line, 3 receivers out to the left, 1 to the right. Handoff Gould again. He'll get inside the 35, still churning down to the 31. This number 2 line for the Dragons doing something is Sebastian Escalera. Was the guy that made the tackle there. Down to 50 seconds, the clock running.
Gould on the carry, gain of 7 yards on the play. Lionel Chavez.
And this ought to be the final snap of the contest.
Yep, they're letting the clock run down, the play clock to 13 and 12 and 11 down to 28 on the game clock as Will Bowers, sophomore quarterback, takes the snap, hands it to Gould again, and he will get down to the 29-yard line, be a gain of a couple, and that will do it for this tonight at Max Goldsmith Stadium. Well, the Dragons fell behind early, just 2 minutes into the game, a little less than that, in fact, and come back and reel off 7 touchdowns in a row, and they improved to 5-1 on the year as Lewisville evens up at 3 apiece, 3 wins, 3 losses. The final score, Carroll 49 and Lewisville 7.